I generally do not like to do YouTube videos or gun reviews on YouTube. I like to do more pictorial spreads on the various forums, but in this case I had to break out the old camera, and I'm going to apologize right now. It is an old camera, so the resolution is just so-so. But as you may notice by the title, we have something from Walther's. And this gun is slated to be released mid to late October. And let's open it up and take a look. I'm trying to do this without bumping the camera. That's it. The Walther's PPQ45. And I will tell you right now, after shooting the gun pretty extensively, showing the gun, demoing the gun, and thoroughly testing it, this is the 45 polymer striker to beat. I don't know how Walther's did this, but what they managed to do was keep the same size slide and just slightly elongate the bottom of the frame down here to accommodate a 12+1 45 ACP. The grip is unbelievably thin. In fact, I haven't felt a polymer striker fire, or actually a polymer any 45 ACP that is this aerodynamically perfect in the grip. It feels like a 9 or a 40. And actually, I have a PPQ Classic 9mm. And if you close your eyes and pick up these two guns, you can't tell them apart. So Walther's just hit it out of the park with that. So if you have small to mid-size hands, or even large hands, my hands are large to extra large, this size right here is identical to the 9mm. So, and it is of course a Mark II. And what I like about this particular setup with the 45 ACP is, on the Mark II, you can see I don't have to break grip to use the mag release. And of course the gun's been safety checked. My grip can go from here to here and it shoots right out of there. And of course that's empty. So just a fantastic design. So if you like the PPQ Classic or the PPQ Mark II and 9 and 40, your transition to a big bore 45 is going to be seamless. So let's get into the details of this gun. First of all, the trigger has actually been improved since the original PPQ. And I don't know how Walther's did it, because the original PPQ was pretty much the unofficial champion of the striker fire triggers. But what they managed to do was take some of the mush and some of the little bit of creep that was just ever so present in the original PPQ. It was always a light trigger, but there was always just a little bit of mush. And if you're used to the VP9 or the P320, I have those. You know, they're a real crispy trigger. They're much heavier weight. But watch this trigger. Now, granted, I'm trying to do this without bumping the... When you pull it back, there's no friction, there's no slop, and it stages to the wall. And that wall is rock solid. I mean, it is not... Look at that. Look how quick that was. Now, I'm going to do this again. I'm going to pull it back to the wall, and there's about a 4.75 pound. It's probably an honest 4.75 to 5 pound, but it feels lighter. And when you pull against that wall, it's gone. I mean, that is the best striker fire trigger, modded or stock, I have ever felt. And I have pretty much shot them all. I've modded all my Glocks, 320, you know, anything that's been currently released, I have shot. Now watch the reset on this. Now what Walther's did is they made a shorter reset of 0.1 inch. Now there's no creep or grit as the trigger moves forward. Do you hear that audible click? Shot off again. Let's try it again. Pulling forward, click, shut off again. Absolutely the best. This is an IDPA beast. It needs nothing. So somehow Walther's managed to actually improve an already outstanding trigger by keeping the gun as small as the original PPQ, and I know that was their goal. Let's see what the gun comes with. Alright, put this back in here. It has the multiple back straps. if you need to change those out, they're back here. The ambi magazine release, so you can be a left or right, so it is a, however you want to shoot. If you're a lefty or a right, it'll go equally as well. You get 2 magazines, and let me see if my crappy camera picks this up. These magazines are made in Italy. Yep, just like Sig Sauer. Anti-friction coating, top quality, beautiful magazines. I mean, just beautiful. And let me tell you, the 12th round when you load in this is not ridiculous. I mean, you can tell it's the 12th round, but it's not like you're fighting to push it in, or you got to have massive thumbs to put that last round in. This is just a beautifully loading mag. Let's see what else we have in here. This is always nice. We have, of course, the Operation Owner's Manual, which you can look that up online. Actually, you can download that. That's what I do. Typical paraphernalia. And Walther still does this, which is really cool. They send you the test target. And I love that they send a test target with this gun. I mean, each gun, I'm going to cover this up right here. That's my serial number, so I'm going to cover that up. Each gun comes with its own test target. And this test target, shot at 15 meters, is a pretty accurate representation of how this gun shoots. Actually, I think it shoots a little better. And we'll get into that in a little bit, and I'll show you how well it shot for me and everyone else that shot it. Reactions at the Gun Expo with the PPQ-45, and we had a lot of shooters that were first-time shooters, women that shot the gun. Walther somehow managed to mitigate recoil in the 45 and make everyone believe this is a 9mm. Everyone that shot the 45 ACP, and these were experienced guys that were there, couldn't believe how soft shooting this gun was. And all I can say is it must be something the way the air goes of the PPQ and the 45, and that different recoil pulse that the 45 creates, that push instead of the snap of the 40 or 9. And it's just a marvelous gun to shoot. Like I said, the gun was shot probably around 500 times, and we shot it dry. The gun wasn't clean. When Walthers gave us the gun, we basically took it out, put it up on the firing line, and we went to it for a day. So, multiple shooters, gun wasn't cleaned, no hiccups, it shot the ammo like a champ. Everyone that shot the gun just loved it. Then I procured the gun after the expo, because there's no way I was leaving without this gun, and I took it home. I was tempted to clean it, but I wasn't going to, because we had a good test here. So I shot another 250 rounds through the gun. It was filthy, of my various ammo, and it was a champ. I limp wristed it, I shot it left-handed, I couldn't get the gun to malfunction. It just was an absolute range beast. So while we're talking about its shooting capabilities, let's set this guy here. The very first target I ever shot out of this gun was at 10 yards, and I mean, I don't know what else to say about that. The first 6 shots were very slow and precise. But after I saw that I was stacking the bullets, I started speeding up to the last, 10, 11, 12, 13, the 12 plus 1. I was really ripping them in there. And it just seemed to, anywhere you put that front sight, it put a 45 ACP 230 grain bullet on. So, absolutely probably one of the most accurate 45s I've shot, hands down. I mean, I'm a big SIG fan, an HK fan. But boy, is this an easy gun to shoot. Some of the other targets I shot. Okay, here's a quick little rapid fire I did. I mean, this was probably two shots per second. I mean, I really ripped into this gun. I mean, it was boom, 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 as fast as I could shoot. And other than pulling this one down here, I mean, that's really good. I mean, for 7 yards, I will bet that after I get a little more rounds through this, I'll be able to keep my rapid fires in the sides of this little red square. So, as I was finishing my shooting at my own tactical range, I had 4 shots left of my HST 230 grains. So I went back to around 40 to 45 yards. I actually measured it off around 42. And I shot 4 very slow, deliberate headshots from around 42 yards. And this is what I came up with. I actually have 2 shots that landed on top of themselves here. That's 3 and 4. So the capabilities of the gun are well beyond pretty much any shooter. I can tell this thing is just going to be, you know, dynamite right out of the box. Some of the ammo I did test it with. I tested it with, most of my range fodder is the Federal Range Target Practice. I get this through massammo.com. You know, props to them, they're fantastic. 230 grain hardball. And Federal HST 230, this is my standard now. This stuff is awesome. In fact, here's what one of those look like. Very accurate as well. In fact, I think I even have a test target. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Yes, I do, actually. These are some fairly quick shots. This is one magazine, Federal HST, 10 yards. I mean, really outstanding. I threw this one here, obviously, but I mean, that is as good as you're going to get out of a 45. And then I shot Gold Dot, 230 grain. Another outstanding round. I love to carry these as well. And the Gold Dots were really good too. I mean, but what I noticed with the PPQ45 is it wasn't ammo sensitive. We shot garbage at the expo, you know, whatever we had, and the point of impact, point of aim remained the same. So if I was shooting premium ammo or shooting junk ammo, it seemed to not care. And you know, some guns don't do that. Some guns are very picky. So I was, you know, pleased with that. So that makes this pretty much an outstanding polymer striker fire. Now I'm going to break it down, try to, without hitting the camera. And this breaks down similar to, try to do this without bumping it, the regular PPQ. Look how easy that is. Ultra lightweight, there's nothing to that. And obviously I did clean it and lube it. I felt bad after 750 rounds, so it has some Slip 2000 on that. One piece guide rod. Big 45 caliber barrel. Now, the interesting factor with this is, look at that, it's a polished feed ramp. I don't know if you can see that. And the second interesting factor of this is, and I brought this up on the gun forums, for 750 rounds of basically a dry gun, notice there isn't any smileys, there isn't any lockup marks on this barrel. The gun barrel still looks pretty much virgin, which is almost unbelievable. I don't think I've ever had a gun barrel that didn't start to get those initial, now it's starting ever so slightly, but for a gun that's been running dry for 750 rounds, I mean, you could sell that almost as new. I mean, you really can't tell. And then the slide is the typical PPQ. One of the caveats with the slide is it's got nice 3-dot adjustable sights, but I'm putting tritium sights on there right away. So MeProLite and Trijicon are sending me some tritium sights to put on these. We're pretty confident that they're going to be a direct swap for the P99 sights, and this requires the typical Glock or the little wrench to take that off. Really easy to slap, and there's a little plunger that slides off. But you can, there's a lot of good videos on YouTube on how to swap the sights on a PPQ. So we'll put this back together. Let's see, I'm trying to do this without bumping the camera. That's all there is to it. Test run. So that is it. The Walther's PPQ45. Save up your money now. Tell your wife, get your alibis ready, because you're going to need another 45. And this will be the striker fire to beat for 2015, 2016. I honestly don't see how anyone could improve the ergos, trigger, or design of a striker fire. And Walther's managed to just ever so slightly tweak the awesome PPQ Classic on the trigger and just make this outstanding. So anyways, that's the first look at the new Walther's PPQ45. Look for it. Should be in the shops. They're hoping by mid to late October. So thanks guys, I'll catch you on the forum.